Okay, here on the right hand side we are passing the Valley of the Kings, where all the old kings from Egypt were buried, and they have 62 tombs. I was there a few days ago, and I went down to the tomb of Tutankhamun, and I got the so-called curse of Tutankhamun, which is a disease many experience after being in this tomb, and that is red eyes, sore throat, feeling a little sick actually. You can film this little boat if you like, there, over there.
If you want to travel in Egypt from the north to the south, for instance from Quena or Luxor down to Aswan in the south, you could go by car, you could go by bus, you could stay in different hotels on the route, or you can do like me and go by boat on the Nile, sail on the Nile. I would recommend that because it's safer, it's more quiet, it's just much more comfortable than traveling around with a car and staying in different hotels. And I must warn you, the traffic here in Egypt is terrible. The pollution in the traffic is terrible. The air in the traffic is just as bad as it is down in the graves. So I told you about Tutankhamun's curse, which I think is called actually the curse of the pharaoh. And that's supposed to come from some fungus or some bacteria that have developed down in the tombs, in the graves, over thousands of years because of the corpses, the bodies down there, the mummies. So that's what gives you this sore throat and the red eyes. But you could also get it in the traffic. And I don't want to scare you because traveling here in Egypt is not really dangerous, I think. At least not dangerous compared to other places in the Middle East these days. So you're quite safe, and especially on a ship like this. And if you want to book a suite on a ship like this one, you could book an ordinary cabin on the side of the ship, or you could book a so-called explorer suite in the front, in the bow here. Or I think identical suites are also in the stern, in the back. Here in the front we have two identical explorer suites. Over there is the suite of Mary and Dan, our neighbors. And our balcony is in a way divided by the plants you see here. And it's, of course, it's expensive. A suite like this is expensive, probably much more expensive than most hotels. But you must also consider that it's not only bed and breakfast. It's also lunch, it's dinner, it's beer, wine, cocktails, long drinks, coffee, tea, water. And not only the drinks, but also the excursions, the sightseeing, the guided tours, the professional guides, the tickets to the museums, to the pyramids, to the temples. Everything is included. Even laundry. You put it in a bag by the door, and the next day or even same day you get it back clean, ironed, just like new. So this is something you have to consider. And if I now show you my suite, you will understand that the standard is very high. It's just as high as in some of the best hotels in the world. Please excuse the mess in here. I didn't prepare for this recording, so I didn't clean up the place before you came. But you can see that there's a separate living room here, and there's a separate bedroom over there, and at least the beds are properly made. And from the bedroom we're going to the left and then into the so-called walk-in closet, where we have all our junk, all our clothes, and there's also a safe hidden behind the clothes where we have put our valuables, our gold and diamonds and dollars and euros, which I don't want to show you in case you should be a burglar. But here is the bathroom with the bathtub that my wife uses every morning, while I prefer the shower. Sorry, I don't have a very wide lens, otherwise I would show you. Well, we can try. I can show you the shower. You see, it's a little bit cramped in here because my lens is only 20mm and I need something wider. But you get the idea, and we can go from there into the toilet, which is even smaller and even more cramped. And from there you can see the rest of the bathroom with two sinks, one for her and one for him, so that a couple can brush their teeth at the same time in the morning without having to queue and without starting a fight. More clutter, and then we go out here and back into the bedroom. Here is something I forgot to tell you previously, which is that we don't only have a private terrace in the bow, but also a veranda or balcony or terrace or whatever you call it here on the side of the ship, where you can sit and look at the riverbank if it's too hot or if the sun is shining too brightly on the terrace ahead. Now we're going back into the living room, and you can see here that we get fresh fruit on the table every day, and also chocolate and snacks, and not least wine. And on the table over here we have an espresso machine right above the mini bar, which contains white wine, sparkling wine, beer and soft drinks, which is also replaced every day. And there's also red wine on the table, which is replaced. And if you're not an alcoholic already, you may turn into one in this boat, even though you're traveling in a Muslim country. Let's go for a walk through the ship. It won't take long because this is not a huge ocean-going cruise ship. To go from the Explorer Suite to the restaurant, which is on the same floor on deck 3, you could just go across the reception and then you're there, but here we go on the outside instead, to smell and see the Nile. I impress myself by walking without stumbling, and here you see the so-called sports deck, I think it's called. It's the top floor of the ship, where people do one or two things, either something very healthy or something unhealthy, because while some people are jogging, rather walking it seems, around this sports deck, other people are using the deck to smoke. They sit here with the cigarettes, cigars and pipes. In the evening I've seen sporty passengers jogging past smokers. But now we'll take the stairs down, and when we come to the restaurant, here's the restaurant. You see that the dinner guests have arrived yet, which may be an advantage, because some people won't like to be filmed while they're eating. But now I can walk around the entire restaurant without disturbing anyone. This restaurant has a new menu every day, a so-called menu of the day. They also have a fixed menu that doesn't change from day to day, and on this fixed menu, among many things, you will find, for example, the chairman's choice. And that is a reference to the preferred dish Norwegian owner of Viking Cruises, and his choice is Norwegian salmon with potatoes and cucumber salad, as far as I remember. As you notice here, most tables have a sea view. Actually, the whole ship has a sea view everywhere. Now we're entering the second restaurant in the ship, on the top floor, or deck as it's called, since we are at sea, where you can get breakfast but also lunch and dinner, even though it's called akvavit. That's a liquor, as you know, a Norwegian liquor, akvavit. It's not food, but maybe this is more like a cafe than a restaurant. I prefer the restaurant, so I haven't been here much. So let's go into the lounge instead. I think this is called a lounge, but it's also the main bar of the ship. I hope you appreciate how smooth my footage is, because let me tell you, I don't use a phone and I don't have a gimbal. I'm just walking around with my camera, holding it carefully like a baby in my hand. And this is where the guides and the hotel manager have their information meetings for us passengers. But otherwise, and most of the time, people just sit here and read, or they sit here and drink, or maybe they drink while they read. We're soon passing the bar. What do you want to drink? In the evening, I often find my neighbor, Dan, sitting here nursing a glass of 12 years old Glenfiddich, no ice. This is his favorite drink. Mine too, but they only have one bottle of Glenfiddich in this bar, so I let Dan have it. I order Black Label instead. Now we're almost finished with the tour. I haven't shown you the swimming pool, because I don't think it is a swimming pool. It's more like a bird bath. It's not possible to swim in the swimming pool, so I didn't show it to you. It's like a jacuzzi. But we can go over here instead, and I can show you something which I think is the, what shall we call it, the business center or the internet cafe, where you can sit and pay your bills or surf the internet or maybe publish yourself on social media. Now we come much further south on the Nile. Earlier today we visited a temple called Philea, and now shortly we're going to another temple called Umbu, which is over there. So Viking Thoth will dock over there, and then we'll go to this temple called Umbu, the second temple today. I don't know about you, but for me 2 temples is enough for a day. It's more than enough, because it comes on top of a museum I also visited earlier today. And this is how it is in Egypt. There are so many places you have to go, so many sites you have to see, so many pyramids, museums. You have to visit them. You have to climb up in towers. You have to descend into the graves. You have to walk around on the sites. There are no escalators, no elevators. You have to listen to the guides. You have to concentrate. You have to remember. This is not only like going back to school, it's like hard work. I'm getting really tired. I need a vacation now. I need a vacation from this vacation. So when I'm finished with this vacation in Egypt, I'm going in for a vacation. Well, that's how it is. And now I'm going to pack my camera and go over to Umbu temple, which I read about. It's a place where the archaeologists found more than 300 reptiles, including crocodiles, on the site. So that's another thing I need. Now I already caught the curse of the pharaoh, but now I may be eaten by a crocodile. So this is the end. It's nothing more now, probably. I'm probably finished, at least with this video. Nothing lasts forever, you know, except maybe the pyramids. They last forever, it seems. But thank you for listening to me for so long, and I hope to come back in the future sometime with another video. Who knows? Not me, not you. Thank you.